Questions and comments. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Government has
Madam Speaker, 2 quick points. We heard a fairly significant rant about crime as if the Conservatives, under Conservative regimes, there is no crime that exists in Canada. Nothing could be further from the truth. We all know that. In fact, one of the individuals that she was making reference to, McClintock, was actually reclassified to medium security in 2014. History will show that Stephen Harper was actually the Prime Minister. Madam Speaker, you know, when we talk about contempt of Parliament, all one needs to know is that the leader of the Conservative Party today was the Parliamentary Secretary to Stephen Harper, who's the only Prime Minister in the entire British Commonwealth held in contempt of Parliament. For what reason? One of those reasons was the fact that he wasn't providing information to the Parliament of Canada. Now, Madam Speaker, to the point that the Conservatives feel that they have this right. Yes, they have unfettered rights, but they also, I would suggest to you, are in borderline contempt of the Parliament. I would suggest to you, Madam Speaker, that at the end of the day, giving the documents directly to the RCMP, something in which the RCMP do not want, something that the Auditor General of Canada has said that we shouldn't be doing, and other legal experts. But we should listen to the Conservative Party. Gee whiz, how tough of a decision is that, Madam Speaker?
Member for Sarnia-Lambton.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and I do appreciate the opportunity to respond to that. You notice exactly what's happened here. I'm bringing up direct issues that are related to what's happening today, and they are diverting by talking about what happened in 2014, what happened way before, okay? My mother used to say, you can't change the past, you can only change the future. And that's why we're calling on this government to produce the papers, to start being accountable, to start enforcing the rule of law in our country. Because I will tell you that the RCMP get tips all the time, Madam Speaker. You know, Crime Stoppers, letters dropped off, calls on alleging criminal activity, and is there due diligence to follow up on those? We know the whistleblower said there was criminality. We know there's criminality. That's why they're not producing the documents. Prove me wrong. Let them produce the documents. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Much before. Questions et commentaires. Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Windsor West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thanks to my colleague who shares a border crossing, as I have several. One of the things I am concerned about is in the past was when Stephen Harper cut the CBSA back over 1,000 staff, including the teams that we used to actually do joint operations with the FBI, with the U.S. Border Patrol, and so forth. And the reason I raise it as relevant now is that we're short at least 2 training tranches and upwards of 2,000 to 3,000 CBSA officers on the border right now. So perhaps she can provide some, I guess, information in terms of how this has affected our border capabilities, especially when we lost the embedded teams on that particular file.
Member for Sarnia-Lambton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank my colleague in the NDP for this question because it allows me to say, yes, once again, you know, we're diverting back to the past. Let's look at what our leader of the official opposition has said he will do when he becomes Prime Minister. He will increase the resources at the border to protect our border security, to detect the illegal weapons and drugs coming in, and to scan the containers that are taking stolen vehicles and going overseas. He has been clear that the U.S. is concerned about the security of our border. They're concerned about the way that we are doing a lackadaisical job on security clearance on immigration. We will take care of that, Madam Speaker, when we're in government. So call a carbon tax election. Let's get it done now.